Dr. Second Chance here. This concludes our coffee, caffeine, and recovery series of videos. I wanted to give some accurate information about caffeine consumption and possible problems that can occur because excess caffeine can lead to some issues such as anxiety, insomnia, and other symptoms that might interfere with your life. And it's really interesting. There's a couple of good studies that were done at Johns Hopkins, and the primary researcher of this said that she had no intention of telling people not to have a few cups of coffee a day, that was not her intention. A recent study of about 1,000 people did find that about 8 to 10% of them did have some problems from caffeine use. And so one of the issues that's brought up is a problem called caffeine use disorder, which is a problematic pattern of caffeine consumption characterized by a persistent desire to cut down or control use, along with unsuccessful efforts to do so, despite problems caused or worsened by caffeine. There may be withdrawal symptoms or the use of the drug to relieve or avoid withdrawal are also common. And so there is a DSM-5 diagnosis for caffeine use disorder, although in the DSM-5 it's been labeled as a condition that needs further studying. There are criteria. You can look it up online if you want. I might even put it in the description below of like 11 different criteria that are similar to substance use disorder in terms of the kinds of things that would score points. And if you have like 2 or 3 of them, you have mild, and 4 or 5 of them, you have moderate, and more than 6, you have severe caffeine use disorder. I'm not going to list them all, but they will be available in the discussion section of the video. And so the question I had is, and that's really not been answered by some of these studies, is it really a problem if you're in recovery from drugs or alcohol or other or things like that to consume caffeine? And there are a number of addictionologists and psychiatrists that firmly believe that it should be eliminated at least during the early recovery time. There's some concerns that it can serve as its own use disorder problem, but also the questions asked, is caffeine just a substitute for other substance use so that the person that's given up one drug will have some sort of feeling? And that is one of the arguments that's made. And that also that caffeine can negatively affect feelings such as anxiety and stress. It can alter and raise things like adrenaline and whatnot. And in which case, if you are having either dual diagnosis or problems with anxiety, in addition to substance use, then the caffeine potentially could make that problem worse. So those are the kind of the big arguments about why you shouldn't